in the eye. All right, hey everybody, we are actually in the eye wall of a slightly stronger Ada. It is unbelievable. Whipping here.
This old job is always causing stress.
I'm touching the truck here.
All I ever do is work. I don't get no rest.
Man, I got some video footage.
Night is on the way.
Crazy. Let me see if I can get outside.
I'm in trouble one.
You just wouldn't believe how much rock in the truck is. Oh shit.
Oh, man, drunk donkey IPA. Let that magic mango chase my blues away.
We're in the eye of Ada here in Key Largo.
Among my friends.
Tremendous
I
weather.
swear the page goes live.
Coming in. Currently. I'm semi-protected here by my truck, so no worries, but semi-protected. I don't want to get the camera wet, but man, the trees beside me are completely sideways. I'm not sure what the gusts are, but definitely this is a tropical storm. I think we're seeing a little higher gusts. I got the back turn right now and trying to keep the camera from getting wet. We're in Key Largo. We're in the eye of Ada.
What's up, everybody? I hope you're dancing. Oh man, computer's a little slow today. I probably should have rebooted Miss Shelly Ross. I haven't rebooted in a long time, and I got an update. We're gonna see. We're pushing it to the limit, Captain. Was that Star Trek? I'm giving it all she's got. Anyway. Cool. All right. Well, we got everything rolling, it looks like. Good morning. We're coming to you live from Oldsmar, Florida, and it is a warm Wednesday here. It is Wednesday, March 27th. Can you believe it's almost April? There is a ticker bar on X that shows the year in progress, and we're almost at 25%. That's not even possible. Big storms in the Panhandle Northeastward. We're going to talk about that. Sneaky linguine front. That's what we call it. Linguine is a code word for lingering. In case you didn't know. All right, so we're going to talk weather. We're going to say hello to everybody. We got some coffee. Oh, by the way, my boy Chad hooked me up with some coffee. I'm going over to Mom and Dad's. Look at that. We got coffee. I guess we can officially say he's our official weather sponsor or coffee sponsor. So we have mountaintoseacoffee.com. This is about my 100th bag of coffee Chad has hooked us up with. And it's all brewed or bagged with the idea of helping coffee farmers in primarily Central America and the Caribbean, I believe. A lot of countries. So checked out their website. He's a Brew Crew member. And Shelly's jealous. Uh-oh. Don't make Shelly jealous. All right, so we're streaming live on a bunch of platforms. We got our new test Brew Crew area streaming live with a bunch of our testers. We have X, of course, Facebook, streaming live on TikTok and YouTube. Welcome, everybody. Our Daily Brew is a weather show. I am not a real meteorologist, in case you haven't heard by now. I'm just a weather blogger. Me and my dogs, Hunter here. And we talk weather, a lot of other shenanigans. If it's not your thing, that is cool. But if it is, that is cool. Our Daily Brew has been brought to you now for 5 years by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Great friends of ours. They do a lot. We got some big commercials and some stuff coming up for the season with them again, so I'm excited about that. I really am. Here's a radar as we say hello. Now, that sneaky little line. Now, we talked a lot about this the last several days. We're going to get into that. That's current. Those little yellow boxes are severe thunderstorm warnings. There's been some big hail. This is hail season in Florida. Hail! Hail! Cassandra, yeah, Hunter's in a whole different vibe. He is my boy, man. He loves to chill. I don't know what it is about these dogs. As soon as I get them on these cameras, they just like go into like La La Land. I've been purposely keeping off the C word, but we are going camping tomorrow, and guess what? The weather looks marvelous. If you're an old diehard of Mike's Weather Page, every time over the years we said we're going camping, we either had a tropical storm, hurricane, severe weather event, and I had to cancel one year like 9 out of 10 vacations because I think it was 2020 when we had all those storms. Every time I mentioned camping, we had a storm. We might be in for that again. We're going to talk tropics at the end of our little Daily Brew show here, too. I got some graphics to show you. So let's do some questions and some hellos. Miss Shell Mann wants to know about Pinellas County. I want to know about Pinellas County because selfishly, Emily's got a softball game. We have a frontal line right now currently. It is going to weaken as it approaches. But man, there are some huge cells out there in the Gulf of Mexico. That tail end sail right now, I'm looking at massive hail showing up. Out in the Gulf. It should weaken. Timing for Pinellas might be around 6 p.m.-ish. Some of the models aren't showing a lot of rain, though. So I'm going to go into that. That's this evening. So it's tricky. This thing might peter out. A lot of stable air. Might not get much. But the borderline is Pasco North. Loretta Reed, good morning. Good morning, Miss Katie Haley. What's up, Jason Strong from Texas? Our transmission sponsor. What's up, James? Softball man. Guess what, James? Emily hit a home run last night over the fence. Her second of the year. Couldn't believe it. What's up, Mr. James Fort? Good morning, man. No vacation Wednesday. Jennifer, I only say the C word when I know that we're in the clear. How about that? Darcel from Burlington. Tammy, good morning. Lauren from Tampa. Polk County might get some storms. It's very doubtful. It's pretty much all Interstate 4 northward. Crazy lightning windy. Yeah, I'm going to show you a lightning map here in a second. I got something to show you. B-Man on a boat in the Bahamas. B-Man, that sounds like fun. What an adventure. And Ortega, good morning, Miss Weather Fan. Good to see you. Yeah, Cassandra, yep. Hernando is definitely hit or miss. Morning, Miss Jody over there. I see you. Joe over there. What's up, happy man? What's up? Ready for the weekend. Rhode Island. Hey, listen, New England weather, not too bad, but Nova Scotia, I posted last night. We got a pretty big nor'easter heading up that way to Friday and Saturday. We're going to get into that here in a second. So, anyway, one more thing. I was at the Hurricane conference yesterday. Hurricane National Convention or Conference or whatever. It's a big deal. I didn't get to stay very long. I had to leave early. But I did get to meet some fine folks, talk to, a lot of people. A little time I was there. So I had a great day yesterday at the National Hurricane Conference. So if I got to see it, cool. If I didn't see it, I wanted to, but I had to come home. So that's life. But here's current radar. Yellow boxes are severe thunderstorm warnings. let's let Hunter down. By the way, you know what time it is? Cadbury egg season. My God, I grew up with these things. Look, almost the same size as Hunter's head. Tell me you don't love Cadbury eggs. I don't eat them anymore because I'm trying to watch my sugar. But I can sneak one maybe. All right, let's talk about the weather real quick. Sorry about that. I get rolling in there and yeah. All right. So there's your storm. So let's talk about lightning. Look at this. Lightning. Lots of lightning. Oh my goodness. Let's turn on the sound real quick. I love to listen to the sound of lightning. What's actually lightning doesn't make sound. It's thunder. But this little website does anyways. You get little ticks. So this is your current line. Lots of lightning in the Big Bend area north. I had some people type up from Valdosta. Had some nasty storms. Valdosta, Georgia. Heading up towards Savannah, Charleston. So pretty healthy little line of storms happening, man. Pumping in from that Gulf of Mexico. I got a really good radar I'm going to show you here. This is the latest Storm Prediction Center map, though. Hey, Miss Morgan, I saw you over there. What's up? Dark. Oh, my God, they're so good. Oh, I've had millions of those things. Oh, my God. Kelly Davis Wilkinson, thank you. What's up, Bobby? Shrehorn, Mr. Eric, Jay and Soggy Tallahassee, 100%. All right, so your Storm Prediction Center map. This is your map you look at. It's updated at 9 o'clock Eastern this time of year. So I was waiting on that and thought we might get a little yellow. We didn't get a little yellow. We got number 1, so nothing's really changed. The only thing different from yesterday to today is they're extended that line all the way up to South Carolina, a little bit in North Carolina. So they're expecting this storm to be popping a little later today. We get some daytime heating, so definitely going to see some storms in the Carolinas, Georgia later today as this thing heats up. So pay attention to that. Might be a little lull right now, but as we get a little instability with daytime coming and heat, we can see some storms. Now, there's Interstate 4. We always joke about Interstate 4. I don't know what it is about Interstate 4, but all weather in Florida is either south of Interstate 4 or below Interstate 4. Oh, my God. So today it's Interstate 4 northward. And like I said, it looks like that line's going to peter out. We'll get into all that here in a second. Promise you that. Posted this earlier, not a really huge storyline, but it's, just kind of showing you where the heavy rains are going to fall today. Anywhere in the yellow. Got a little bit more in the Carolinas here. Is this low pressure, or, all fronts are low pressure, but frontal line stalls out. So heavy rains there today. A little bit tomorrow. Look, tomorrow. Could see a little bit all the way to the New England area, and then a little bit more in North Carolina. So this is rainfall through Friday morning. So that little line's going to linger for Carolina. So it'll be long gone in Florida by tomorrow night. But we're going to have some heavy rain eastern Carolina tomorrow. Still. Let's talk about days ahead real quick, because we have Easter weekend coming up. Is the Easter Bunny going to have to wear a poncho? Doesn't look like it. Stacy from Gainesville, what's up? Team Tan Man, North Carolina, going to be wet. Eastern part, Raleigh, North Carolina, got some rains coming. It is hot, Eric. Are you excited about the Rays, Eric? I don't know any of the pitchers other than Eflin. I just saw the starting rotation today, and I'm like, okay, I don't really know any of those guys. Morgan, AccuWeather released their hurricane alert. Did not see that. I have to take a look at it. I would bet money it's above average, right, Morgan? Melissa from Oldsmar. Oh, my goodness, you're a neighbor with a 5-year badge. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, Brandy, it's coming your way in Gainesville. I'm going to break it all down. The latest 12Z HRR is just running now, so I kind of stall until that comes out. We'll see how that is. Miss Valerie Bauer, good morning. Chad, what's up? Just talked about you, Chad. Joe loves them eggs. No Peeps for me. Anybody like Peeps? That's like pure sugar. Oh, and it's jelly bean season. Ugh, God. Ugh, all that sugar. I can't even imagine. It's funny. Our softball game the other day was sponsored by our good friends from Dunright Roofing. They kicked in a lot of money for Palm Harbor University, which we love Dunright here locally. Today's sponsor, they have a game tonight. It's Alderman Dental. A good friend of mine, Hopeton Williams. I always laughed at Dennis because we have all these holidays with candy, like Valentine's Day, and then we have Easter, and then we have Halloween. I always thought that they were sponsored by dentists. So all these kids can eat sugar. God, remember jelly beans? Oh, God, I think I'd throw up all that sugar. All right, so let's talk about rainfall going into the weekend. All right, so I think I got daily rainfalls. Let's take a look. All right, so here is Thursday, today, or tomorrow. Today's Wednesday, tomorrow. As you can see tomorrow, most of that frontal line, a lot of high pressure down here across Florida. It's going to fizzle it out. But there's that heavy rain in eastern Carolina tomorrow. So this lingers tomorrow into Friday morning. And New England northeast. So there's our line on Thursday. Now Saturday or Friday. Whoa. Long gone. Look at that. So Friday, most everybody in the south and in the east, this is what I consider south and east. When I say south and east, this is what I'm thinking right here. About like that. And it's a heart. South and east. All right. Saturday, Easter weekend. Saturday. Oh my God. Look at that. Could you ask for not better weather? Sunday, Easter. Oh my God. Look at that. Most everybody. Now we do have rains out west. The only people that watch me out west would be Greg Montgomery and Jason Sutton. They sponsor us too. They're from Furman, and I always think, I wonder if they get mad I never talk about Arizona. It might rain on Easter out west. But anyway, most 99.99999999999% of people that watch are south and east. Then we have Lori in Bermuda. But Easter looks pretty good. All right, not bad. Not bad at all. Let's talk about temperatures. I didn't even look at temperatures. So it's hot, man. It was hot yesterday. We had upper 80s here yesterday. It felt hot. It was funny at Emily's softball game. Everybody was hiding. And I'm that weird guy. I sit in the sun because I'm like, if they got to play in it, I'm going to sit in it. Everybody was trying to find shade yesterday. It was funny. They were like, get me out of this heat. All right, so today, oh my God, here's temperatures again today. Obviously, rains in the northeast, Florida, northwest, northern part of Florida. That's because that rains. But I-4 south, I-4, look at these temperatures. Man, upper 80s again today. Going to see 90s in the middle part of the state. My buddy Renee in Wachula. Probably going to hit 90 today. Upper 80s. Tomorrow, that little front line tries to sneak through here, so we'll see. It's going to cool down things. Tomorrow, high temperatures. Not bad. Look at that. Look at Friday. Not bad at all. Now, we're going to be camping in the pool. I guess that's not bad. I wish it was a little hotter. Maybe Saturday? Oh, yeah. 81. So there's Saturday temps. Sunday we'll be coming home, eat dinner with mom and dad. There's Sunday. So your high temperatures for Easter Day in Florida. Let's widen it out here to the whole U.S. for Easter. Easter morning. Let's go back here and take a look at Sunday. Here's Easter. Wow, hot. Hundreds down in Texas on Easter. My goodness gracious. We're going to have hundreds in South Texas. 90s all the way towards Oklahoma. We got 80s all the way to North Carolina. 70s in Virginia. Woo, 70s. Missouri. Kansas. Hot. 80s all across the southeast. This is your Easter Sunday temps. 80s. Woo. All right, let's look at lows. Let's look at Sunday morning lows. What is the Easter bunny gotta wear? All right, so Saturday, here's Sunday morning. That's not too bad, actually. We're still going to have some decent temperatures in the morning. Not bad. Look at that. So Easter morning, it's not going to be too bad Easter morning. Look at that. It's going to be 50s across South Florida. Not bad. No 70s other than the Keys. So Easter morning, not bad. Cool, crisp. Kids will be out there looking for Easter eggs, and it'll be a little nippy out. How about that? All right, what else can we look at? Let's look at timing today. Let me close out some windows. All right, so what is happening today? So we got a new 12Z. Hopefully it ran. Let's see. We only got, drum roll, 36 hours. Okay, cool. We got 36 hours. Got 36 hours ahead. The 12Z runs 48 hours. Kristen says egg hunt at 5 a.m. Mosquitoes. Did you see OMG Wick's video the other day with mosquitoes? Every time it rains, oh, it rains over, I'm going outside, and then the mosquitoes are out there. Truth. Carol loves her peeps. Oh, God, here we go again. Morgan peeps. Oh, God. Peeps, peeps, peeps. Angel wants to know, do we hear about the bridge collapse? Oh, heck yeah. Oh, my God, I've been watching the heck out of the news. Terrible. Could have been way worse, man. Cannot believe. It's very unfortunate, of course, for the construction workers. The only good news was that they were able to block traffic both ways, and they, had made a two minutes, I guess, before the bridge collapse. So they at least, that last semi, oof. I wonder who that guy is. Did he know what was going on behind him? He was that last semi, and then boom. It just reminds me so much of 1980 here at home with the Skyway Bridge, because that was literally a mile or two from where we live in Palmetto at the time. So the Skyway Bridge was a big deal. My dad went over it every day going to work. I always tell the story about the Skyway. For me, you probably heard it before, but me and my friend were playing with walkie-talkies. Remember walkie-talkies? And either it was a Coast Guard or truck driver or somebody came across doing a Mayday. Skyway Bridge is falling. I still remember it, man. I must have been 7 years old maybe at the time. 7 years old. And I told the teacher and got in trouble. Stood in the corner. I don't know if do kids stand in corners anymore? Only time I got in trouble, I felt so bad because they thought I was lying, making up a terrible story, which it was terrible. But I do remember my walkie-talkie, just somebody came across it, Mayday, Mayday, Skyway Bridge, and I'm like, wow, crazy. All right, so let's talk about the timing of this thing today as we get going. So 12Z is the freshest data. Look at this satellite, though. I got to show you. This is an unbelievable satellite imagery happening right now. Let's look at a couple things. Just watching this pump, man, from the Gulf has just been tremendous this morning. I mean, that is just unbelievable high cloud. Man, there's a couple supercells out there in the Gulf that are just firing away. Tremendous storms. Slow moving, just barely moving. It's kind of trapped between a high pressure to the south. And it's crazy, too. Look at this. I don't know if we got any color today. We do. Crazy. Look at that. One of our tropics maps actually has tropic colors. This is one of the maps we look at for tropical development. We have a naked swirl out there. I posted it yesterday. Hey, you got to look at all posts, by the way. It's so hard on social because social media scatters posts from 5 days ago, yesterday's posts, an hour ago, 4 days ago. You don't know what the heck you're looking at. Except the new Brew Crew, you will. For $4.99 a month. Coming soon. Naked swirl. Let's take a look at the naked swirl. No, let's break down hour by hour. Then we'll look at the naked swirl. All right, latest 12Z data. All right, so let's go to noon. Here's 12 o'clock. All right, 12 o'clock. There it is, noontime. Now, the Gulf is pumping full of juice. But as we've seen, as it gets closer to the coast, west coast, it's been fizzling. So will that activity make it to Florida? Don't know. It's one of them weird deals that could fizzle out and be nothing. But we're going to have heavy rains across Jacksonville at noon, up through Savannah, all the way to Charleston. That's noon. Let's go to 3 o'clock. 1, 2, 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. Sticking together. They're 3 o'clock. Very little movement. Man, we got some healthy cells out there in that Gulf of Mexico. Jesus. So it's going to be right off the coast of Pasco, 3 o'clock. God, our softball game doesn't look good. Severe thunderstorms currently, though. Somebody was just asking what those little yellow boxes mean. These little yellow boxes are severe thunderstorm warnings. And I'm sure we're going to get a mesoscale discussion probably here in a little bit. It sounded like they were going to up their slight 2 risk. But look at this cell out here, man. It is tremendous. I don't know if I can pull that up without crashing my PC here. Let's see if I can pull up radar scope. We're pushing it to the limit. All right, radar scope. Let's drag it over here. Radar scope. Let's see if I can make it nice and purty. Let's see if it even loads. What's up, William? Thank you, buddy. What's up, Renee? Good morning. All right, let's zoom in. Oh, you know what? Well, let's go to Tampa radar. Let's see if we can go that far out. We might not be able to zoom out that far out. I'm currently on the Keys. Well, we might be able to. Wow, these are some serious hail signatures out here in the Gulf of Mexico. Right there. That's usually hail. Could be rotation. I mean, the big question, if these things were to make it to the coast, we could see some pretty strong action. Well, I mean, I'm going to keep an eye on that guy right there. That could be interesting. Whether or not it makes it. That's a pretty big bow, too. Look at that. It's just in the range of vorticity or velocity right now, out of Tampa. I wonder if Tallahassee's picking it up. No, Tampa's got a little more higher, but yeah, that's some pretty intense look coming into radar screen here. So we'll keep an eye on it for sure. That's very impressive. I mean, it looks like it's coming towards Pasco, Hernando. Timing, though, let's take a look at that. All right. So that is 3 o'clock. 5 o'clock. Oh, boy. Right on smack dab, getting close to Pinellas County, Tampa. But you can see it's kind of fizzling out. All right, so there's 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. All right. So, what do we got to talk about? Well, let's look here. So 7 o'clock, you can kind of see where it's fizzling going through Tampa. We're going to have some lingering storms behind it. Things should be getting stable, though, behind this. But we still showing rain. There's always been a chance of a secondary line behind this initial line. This is about 6 p.m. tonight. There's that heavy line of storms and rains out ahead, and then maybe just rains behind. But yeah, so it ain't over yet for y'all in the Big Bend northeast wish ish northeast wish. There's that rain coming into Carolinas. Is going to be sticking around. Let's see, tonight about 8 o'clock. There's our secondary line, 8 o'clock. See, none of this stuff's really making its way over Florida. They got a lot of stable air over Florida, but nasty just off the coastline. Could be more down for the Keys. Here's midnight. Midnight tonight. Interesting, right? Still pumping away. Maybe another line setting up. Usually these second lines aren't as strong as the initial line. However, getting very close to the Keys now, midnight. This little cell could be interesting midnight. Oh, yeah. Here's 4 a.m. Heavy rains across Carolinas, Virginia. There's that secondary line maybe coming through overnight, 4 a.m. Keys, 5, 6 a.m. Here's 8 a.m. Heavy rains. Trying to cross Carolinas. There's that secondary line, 8 a.m. tomorrow. By noon tomorrow, it's gone out of Florida pretty much. There's that heavy rain. It's supposed to stick around. We have a yellow excessive rainfall map for tomorrow here. So heavy rain expected tomorrow as this gets on out of here. So let's look at New England area. Let's just look at the whole U.S. here as this thing exits out of here tomorrow. So this is tomorrow at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. tomorrow. And afternoon tomorrow, 4 p.m. tomorrow. Long gone on the East Coast, Florida there. South Carolina, good. A little bit lingering in North Carolina. North tomorrow. There's that heavy rain expected on the northeast. And it's going to stay around. There's midnight, Thursday night into Friday. Could be a little snow in the backside as it pulls on out. One thing I don't want to forget is our New England friends. This has been a pretty interesting setup here, pressure-wise. GFS showing this as a 976 pressure over New England Friday night into Saturday morning. The Euro showing up as a 973 over Nova Scotia. And even the Canadian showing close to 970s, 975 once it makes landfall early Saturday. So definitely going to be a windy day across Nova Scotia. We have a lot of folks up there in Canada that watch Friday and Saturday as this low pressure tightens up and escapes off to the northeast. So here is Friday night. You can see those incoming winds here as this thing deepens up. So could be some good winds here. 973. Not showing a lot of wind, but still that's pretty low pressure. 973 Saturday 2 a.m. And the GFS is 977. So anyway, it'll be a windy day. Low pressure across New England. Gonna have winds across Maine, but they're blowing in from the west. But man, they've been having their share of power outages, big time. Several times in the last year. Several times Maine has been knocked out of power. 4 or 5 times in the last year that I can recall, they've had some pretty serious outlets. Really nothing on the firmament map here for power outages today, so that's good news. Good news for that. All right, so let's talk about hurricane season. Weather looks good for the weekend. We talked about that. We showed temperatures. Long range. Let's look at long range real quick, and then we're going to go into hurricane stuff. Let's see if there's anything brewing. Long range. Any big dips coming down. This one could be interesting. This is next April 1st. Yeah, it's interesting. Could be middle of next week. A little cutoff low trying to get going here. A little instability out front. So that could be some storms possibly next Wednesday. Across upper Gulf, northeastward. Keep an eye on that. Yeah, actually southern this one. Oof, and then there's that second. This is what always happens this year. You've noticed this year we've had a double whammy. We'll have an initial line come through, and then we get a secondary surge come across into the southeast. Now watch what happens. This is next Wednesday right here. Boom, storms. And then watch over here. Another little low that's going to come out of nowhere and possibly bring some instability into Florida next Thursday, Friday. That's interesting. So we'll keep an eye on that. I bet you, let's see, the Storm Prediction Center is talking about it. See, oh, I got a lot of words. Usually when there's a lot of words, there's a lot of things possibly coming. There's a lot of words. Look at that. Some severe threat may continue on day 7 Tuesday along the upper cold front southeast and eastern states. That's only going out to Tuesday. So, yeah. Looks like Tuesday, and then for sure Wednesday we got maybe some storms coming next week. All right. Enjoy that. I'm going to be going in storm chase mode here soon. Got 3 hurricane expos coming up. Oh, 410, I'm doing something. That's okay. Perry. I'm going to Perry. Listen, if you live in Perry, Saturday, April 20th, I'm hanging out. I guess they have an EOC day, Emergency Operations Center Day. So the local sheriffs invited me up there. So I'll be up there at Perry. And then I'm doing my Oldsmar Hurricane Expo is April 27th. Palm Harbor is doing a Hurricane Expo on May the 11th. I got invited to a whole bunch of them around June 1st, but we're going to be up at the Gulf Coast Jam. But I did get my buddy Jay's email today from Madeira Beach, and I'm going to be out of town for that one. Madeira Beach is on 4/20. Madeira Beach's Hurricane Expo kind of covers everybody across the coastal parts of Pinellas County. But I did offer to do a little 5-minute video they can play talking about storm surge in Pinellas County. So hopefully we can do that for them at least. I love my boy Jay over there in Madeira Beach, so can't do it. But all right, so let's talk about the season ahead. I guess Morgan just said AccuWeather came out with a prediction. I don't want to pull it up because I'm worried that I'll get copyrighted for something silly. Let's see here, AccuWeather. Let's see what AccuWeather said. Let's pull it up here. Do they have it on their website yet? Let's see. Oh, God, I can't even say the word. I can't say the word because I'll probably get tagged by AI. Morgan. It begins with EX, ends with VE. Wow. Those are big words. I knew it. I told everybody at the hurricane, we are going to have off-the-chart hurricane predictions, and it's going to get everybody worked up. Oh, my God. You can't even say that word. Supercharged hurricane season. Published, today, March 27th. Could spawn a supercharged hurricane season. Spawn a near-record number of storms. Forecasters may run out of names amid a frenzy of tropical... Man, that's very... very wordy. Gets everybody worked up. Hey, did you know my buddy Justin Danger? Listen, did you know? I feel guilty when I say that now because I don't want to step on his claim to fame. Last season was our 4th most active season ever, and only storm that anybody remembers was Idalia. It was a bad one, yes. Major hurricane, North Florida there into Georgia. Pretty big time, but majority of people say the season was a dud. So it doesn't matter how many storms we get. It always comes down to basically, do they hit anybody? Does it affect you? You know, nobody knows. They could all be Atlantic fish storms, missing everybody. Just because you have a lot of names doesn't mean you're going to have everybody get one. So, but the predictions get everybody worked up. All right, so there you go. Big time wording there from AccuWeather. Holy cow, man. Jeez. Holy. All right. So this is a little graphic Eric probably remembers. It was on our cruise, and Katie, if you guys paid attention. This is one of my graphics in my little storm presentation that I do. But these are your active months. So did you know in 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, we had a name system in May. Not uncommon. 23, we had one last year in January. Popped out of the old frontal line. Usually they're old fronts. Now the reason, we're going to show you that naked swirl here in a second, off of the East Coast. Most of the time it's old frontal lines that spin up. And you can see this is May origin since 1851. There's been a lot of storms in May. Doesn't mean they're going to have a busy season or not. We just have old frontal lines that stick around, low pressure areas that spin up. Most of the time, June and July are pretty much dud months because there's a lot of wind shear across the Atlantic, a lot of Saharan dust early season in June and July. There's still a lot of wind shear probably left over from El Nino. So June and July typically are not very active. Things get going really heavy in August, September, and October. Oh, shear relaxes. A lot of heat in the atmosphere and in the oceans. Those things allow storms to get going. So that's why August, September, October. October, we get a lot of systems that brew down in the Caribbean. That's typically northern, eastern part of the Gulf, East Coast. Worry more than anything because we have systems that come up through the Gulf of Mexico from old frontal lines, old waves, crossovers from the Pacific. This is and it's the hottest water of the season down here in the Caribbean in October. People come to October months and they're like, we're talking about fall and leaves changing and football and Halloween. But believe it or not, it's still a very busy part of the year. Some of the biggest hurricanes ever were in the months of October. Michael, most recent memory. Sometimes they don't have to be big bad cat hurricanes. Sandy was only a subtropical category 1 late October, early November, and it created havoc across the East Coast. So there's that. All right. So my buddy Jeff, Channel 8 here at NBC Tampa Bay, had a couple graphics here. I'm going to show you. Props to him. Channel 8. So when we have a La Nina year versus El Nino, these are just some good graphics showing you the difference between the two seasons. So we are entering a La Nina. These are just good stats that we talk about all the time, but seeing them on a graphic makes life a lot easier. El Nino, we're not in. We're going to be in La Nina. We have double the amount of majors on average. 1986 to 2023. We have now 81% more hurricanes during La Nina years. And we have 59% more named storms. So, named storms, yeah, but the severity of the storms increases a lot. And that is because the conditions are a little more favorable for development. You can get a named storm that could be weak. That's why, my assumption is obviously it doesn't really matter. El Nino, La Nina, we get weaker storms. But in order for storms to grow, we need light wind shear, warm water. And when you have light wind shear, storms have the ability to grow and expand. So I was a little surprised. We have average double the amount of major hurricanes when we have a La Nina year, and almost 81% is quite a bit. Now another graphic that I share a lot. Now he did a really good job, I believe, on this graphic. I love it how he did this. If you watch every day, we show all these comparisons between 2020, 2018, different years, El Nino, La Nina. This is a great graphic. Basically, the whole. I love this graphic. It's 40 years. This is the area to concentrate on, right here. The Caribbean, and then the Gulf. These are storms the last 40 years. During El Nino, you get a lot of wind shear across the Caribbean, and you can see the activity down here is far less, and then the Gulf of Mexico. They come out of the Caribbean and impact Mexico, Texas, Gulf. So when we don't have a lot of activity in the Caribbean, we have a lot less activity in the Gulf. Now, we do have storms pop up, obviously, but few and far between. So almost double the storms here across the Gulf and Caribbean during La Nina months or years because of the less wind shear. Now, what's interesting is I've seen a lot of people forecasting Texas this year. Now, it makes sense. You get a lot more action in the Caribbean. You have more chances of these storms making it into the Gulf and Western Gulf of Mexico. So over history, you get a lot of them into Mexico, and you get some more into Texas here. So it makes sense during La Nina years. You have more stemming out of the Caribbean than having a chance to possibly impact Western Gulf states. This would be earlier season types of years. These are more systems that are coming across. We have stronger high pressure in place. And they make their way across the Western Gulf. Less cold fronts, too. Remember, Texas and the central western parts of the Gulf are protected later in the year because we have cold fronts coming down. When you have cold fronts coming down, they allow storms to get lifted and then turn to the northeast. That's why during October months, you see so many storms brew down in the south, and then they get pulled and they turn. Everything turns due to the approaching cold fronts. So when you have more cold fronts, more systems tend to stick around Eastern Gulf than Western Gulf. So summertime, definitely more action across Western Gulf during the La Nina years. So that was an interesting graphic, I thought. So thanks, Jeff, for sharing that. All right. So there you go. A little bit of second shirt for names, James. Yeah, you got the shirt. Shh, I haven't posted it yet. Anyway, so there you go. We'll keep an eye on things today. This frontal line is definitely packing some punch. I would definitely keep your eye on the Gulf of Mexico. I mean, these are sneaky little storms out there. Whether or not they maintain is going to be the question. But, you know, these are some pretty feisty little cells. They would impact more Tampa Bay northward if they were to come across. So future radar shows a lot of this action weakening a little bit as it approaches the land. So, you know, they might be strong out in the Gulf now. We'll keep an eye on them. But there is hail. These little supercells. This is current satellite. There is a lot of little supercells here popping up. Quite a few, actually. Embedded little supercells here across Florida. So, yeah, pretty stormy day. There's a good one over South Georgia right now. Look at that. Holy moly. Brunswick, Savannah getting a nice little storm right now. So these are going to continue throughout the day. That's today's weather story. Once this clears, heavy rain for the northeast. North Carolina tomorrow a little bit. But by Friday, pretty much it's going to be a good weekend. So there you go. CAR, when's the wind going to slow down in the Gulf? Good question. Not for a while. We're going to have some stable air over the weekend, though, actually. There's the front is going to not be so strong. So I have a feeling we're going to be, once this front passes, I bet you Saturday and for sure Sunday will be a lot better. There's a high pressure in place on Saturday here. So usually when you get a high pressure locked in, over time, it starts stabilizing things. Sunday's not bad. These are not too bad at all. These are gusts. So, yeah, look at that. Sunday's not bad at all. It's not Saturday and Sunday's not too bad. So once this front passes, here's tomorrow. There's your front line right there. But, you know, the high pressure comes in quick. So I think the weekend's going to be great for winds in the Gulf at least. And then a lot of uncertainty comes into next week. Here's Wednesday. This is that storm line they're talking about Tuesday, but we do have another storm system that could be interesting to watch here. This is next Wednesday. We'll see if that makes it through. This is next Wednesday. And then what's really interesting is this other one brewing in behind it. This is the little secondary surge coming. We'll see if that keeps showing up. This is Friday. This will be interesting. This is one of those weird scenarios that we get the surge here flooding across. Now, it's not that deep right now, 10, 11. This is Friday next week. Long way away. I shouldn't even be looking at this, but this is that little secondary surge next week. Let's see if they're all showing it. Let's look at a couple different maps here, tropical tidbits. So let's look at, we got our midweek storm line coming through right there. This doesn't go out. See, 10 days, man. That's just too far to go out. Get in trouble looking past 10 days here. Guess we can look at some ensembles maybe. Have you ever noticed too that ensembles on tropical tidbits go past 10 days? Kind of showing up a little bit. Anyway. Whatever. All right. Well, cool, man. We talked a lot. We did. Let's see. I'm going to say hi to everybody now that I missed. We're going to leave it on our good buddy Direct Remodels website. For all my friends across Interstate 4, which you know we love. Interstate 4 controls all weather. But anybody in Central Florida, Tampa, Middle Florida, looking for hurricane windows. We have some great supporters of our page. Furman gives that amazing 30% discount. Direct Remodels 40% off. We've already had a bunch of fans inquire about that and very, very happy. So check them out. We got the link right there above our YouTube video. But yeah, anybody going to Ray's home opener? Eric, you going to Ray's home opener? Hurricane season start. Hey, good question, Seth. Officially, hurricane season's June 1st, and it ends November 30th. But it's not uncommon to get a system in May. But officially, hurricane season is June 1st. See you, Joe. Chad's in Brunswick. You got storms, Joe? Chad? Anthony, I always thought they were going to start hurricanes. There was talk about them starting a hurricane season to May 15th a couple years ago. I was surprised they didn't. What they are doing, though, is we started getting National Hurricane Center outlooks May 15th. Those are those 2-day outlooks, 7-day outlooks. So officially, the hurricane season doesn't start until June, but we get hurricane outlooks May 15th. So, oh, you're going to go see the Rangers. That's cool. We are not live Friday, by the way. Yes, Shelly's correct. Sorry about that. I forgot we're going camping. So enjoy your Easter weekend, everybody. We will not be live, but we will be live back on Monday. And if there's any weather, we'll take care of it. Yeah, Morgan's going to the Keys. Have fun with that. So there you go. Sorry, Morgan. What are you going to do? Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up early, I guess, if we got nobody to talk about. It's dark, Chad says. Yes, it is. Thunder and Jacks, Debbie says. Yes. Weatherbanes. AccuWeather's forecast. Oh my God. I'm going to share that one here in a second. I like to share things like that. Thank you, Bob. We'll have a good time, buddy. We're going to, we have talked about La Nina. Yep. Softball tonight, James. Mark Hall. I think we had a hurricane in January one time. A cat too, if I don't remember right. Hail, Shane. Yes, lots of hail reported in the Big Bend area northeastward. There was hail in Valdosta. So yes, that line is really strong right now currently. Definitely, they're talking about hail. As a matter of fact, we don't have any like major risks for hail, but there is not a 0% chance. Here's your hail outlook. In fact, let's go to southeast here. So there is hail forecast there. So not it's not zero. We could see hail all the way to the Carolinas. Happy Easter, Miss Katie. Yeah, it's what it is. I didn't talk a lot about it this time. I do have the latest graphic though on the weather on the website for La Nina. This is the latest probability map. March, it was issued a couple of weeks ago. Pretty high confidence, obviously, that by June, July, August, we're going to be in La Nina. Quick, pretty much guarantee we're going to be in La Nina for hurricane season. Now, some of the research I've done is the first year after a strong El Nino hasn't really been a really active. It has, it's been active, but nothing like crazy active. So maybe the first year after this transition won't be as bad as they're expecting. I always refer back to 2020 as a very active year, and it was the second year, La Nina, after a strong El Nino. So the first year after a strong El Nino, 18 was strong. It wasn't really a strong El Nino, though. 18 was an El Nino, but I don't think it was considered strong. El Nino. 18 was moderate, not tremendous. '16 was the first year on record close to when I really 10 and 16 were. So 2010 that wasn't a strong El Nino. Really, our 16 was a strong El Nino transitioning to La Nina the next year. So 16 could be a comparison, but the water temperatures are so different. Every year is a different animal. 98 was a strong La Nina after El Nino. I don't know. I've showed it so many times that it doesn't always mean anything. History says we'll have a lot of storms. Water temperatures, though. Let's look at 16. What was significant in 16? What storms stand out in 2016? Does anybody remember 2016? Let's look at 16. Oh, there's a big major hurricane. What the hell was that one? Matthew, of course. We had Hurricane Hermine also, 16. Notice we had a little bit more East Coast action with La Nina. But we didn't have the high activity that we see some of those graphics showing. But everybody remembers Matthew, no doubt. Water temperatures. Let's look at 16 to now. Let's just compare. Let's look at sea surface temperatures. Then let's look at weekly, I guess. All right, so let's go back to 16 this time frame. And we're in March. I had to look. This feels like January. Oh my God. All right, here we go. This is getting close. Let's rewind it now let's look at anomalies. Here we are, about right here. Let's look at sea surface anomalies. All right. Well, that's pretty hot. Oh, that's 18. Where am I at? No, that's now. I didn't think it was going to be that hot. 16. All right, let's go to 16. All right, that's about where we're at right here. All right. All right, there's your water temperature averages back in 16, your water anomaly maps. This was the transition from a strong El Nino to La Nina the following year. So this is where we were at in 16 when the transition was occurring to La Nina. These are your water temperatures, and they were still above normal. They weren't, white's normal, so they were all about 1 degree, 1.5 degrees above normal. But where we're at now, a lot more red, so quite a bit warmer, especially in the Gulf right now. 2 to 3, 4 degrees above normal. That loop current's smoking hot. See, a lot of this fuel happening right now is definitely feeding off this loop current right now currently. SPC mentioned it on our last storm, how the loop current was helping feed these storms. You can see that right now. We're getting a little pop of storms, man, out of nowhere. Where'd that come from? God, our softball game's going to be a miracle. Get an hour in, hopefully. That's some serious convection popping up over that warm Gulf current currently. Current. Look at that. Man, look at that secondary line just popped up out of nowhere. That's smack dab over top of that loop current. Look at this thing. Woof. Man. What is happening in the Gulf of Mexico? Nothing tropical, but man, those storms are firing away. Look at that. Another new line just came out of nowhere. Boof! Storm Prediction Center might have to do an update here. We might get a yellow slight risk. Josh wants to know how I'm doing. Hey, man. What's up? Thanks for following. Appreciate it. We've been alive. I've noticed TikTok makes you. I got to verify that I'm a human. Am I human? No internet connection. What are you talking about? I have internet. I am trying again. Do I have internet? Am I streaming? Of course I'm streaming. I always stream. Anyway, so hey, we got to watch that radar. Listen, anybody across the Gulf Coast there, keep an eye on this. I mean, golly, that's a lot of lightning out there, man. That's a tremendous amount of storms popping out there. Let's look at the latest HRR map. Let's zoom into Florida, deep down in Florida. Oh, let's see here. Let's zoom in here. Ugh, they're keeping them together now. We might get some sneaky ones down to Pinellas County. That's 4 o'clock. Where's 5:30? I'm really thinking the Keys are going to get a sneaky little storm overnight. Maybe early morning. These cells down here are really looking healthy. Is they going to clip the Keys? Possibly. Timing down there would be early morning tomorrow. We might get this cluster impact the Keys overnight, tonight, early morning. Oh boy. Oh boy. I might be storm chasing later. I don't know. Just one of them days you gotta watch the radar. See what they say. Keep alert today. West Central Florida. This is interesting. That little guy really popped up out of nowhere though. wider picture here. Watch it. Fueling over that Gulf waters, man. That's not, 85 degrees. That's hot water. I don't know if it's 85 or not, but let's see here. It's let's go to sea surface temperatures currently. That's why oh, it ain't that hot. I mean, it's hot, but it ain't like, well, I thought it was more than that. Let's let this thing catch up. Oh, let's see here. Well, maybe it's not that hot. Oh, it is 81, 82. I guess it is. Oh, it took a second to catch up. 80, 81, 82. Not that bad, really. This is only 80 over here. 79. 79. A couple 80s. This little pocket here, 80 degrees. All right, a couple more questions. Or look at them. Yes. Your dog Dawn. What's up, Susie Q? I haven't done a live at late at night, Susie Q. You used to pop in there. All right, I gotta go. Lots to do today, so. All right, hey, so much. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Thanks to all the supporters, all our great sponsors. Thanks, Shelly. We're gonna be possibly doing a merch drop Friday, even though I'm not home. I bought the Hurricane Hair Don't Care shirts. They are ready for pickup. So we're going to have a limited supply of the Hurricane Hair Don't Care shirts. And I just got knocked off of TikTok. Bummer. Violation. So watch that on Friday. We're not live Friday. We'll be live on Monday. All right. So pay attention to the weather. I'm going to be posting all morning about this. We're going to keep an eye on the Gulf of Mexico. See if there's any big storms coming in for that. All right. Cool. Have a great Easter, everybody. It's a great weekend. The weather looks phenomenal for most everybody, and that's great news. So there'll be a lot of people doing things. So enjoy your weekend. And we will be back on Monday. All right. Sounds good to me.